With hospital staffers and equipment drastically reduced due to the COVID-19 outbreak, the Health Department now designates exclusive COVID-19 hospitals. The President, in a speech aired way past midnight, urges local government units to abide by guidelines set by the national government. But the city of Marikina is one step ahead. They have set up their own molecular laboratory for COVID testing, the first LGU to do so. COVID-19 cases in the country now tally 230 with 13 new infections. The Philippines also adds one more fatality to its latest count. Meanwhile, Italy is now officially the deadliest center of the pandemic, with fatalities now breaching that of China's. And forget about alcohol or toilet paper. The Dutch want to stock up on something to keep them chill and calm amid the lockdown. Good evening, I'm Ed Lingao. This is the special coverage of the coronavirus crisis using the combined forces of News 5 and Signal TV's One News, Radio 5, and One PH. The Health Department is expected to formally designate today the Philippine General Hospital as a COVID-19 referral facility in Metro Manila. The PGH has stopped admission for non-emergency cases to free up wards and rooms. The DOH adds that a 40-bed wing of the Lung Center of the Philippines is also being considered as a referral facility. Health authorities are also in talks to use the Jose N. Rodriguez Memorial Hospital and Sanitarium in Caloocan. Health Undersecretary Rosario Vergeire says the DOH has already coordinated with different hospitals in Metro Manila to take on this role. In an open letter addressed to authorities, private hospital officials urged the government to designate one or two COVID-specific hospitals to free up other healthcare facilities. Vergeire says this was exactly what they were trying to accomplish in the past few weeks.
Dati pa naman yan na nandiyan, na pinag-iisipan at tinitignan kung ano ang pwedeng mga ospital na maaari nating gawing very specific for COVID para nga maiwasan na ang mix ng mga pasyente natin sa loob, magkaroon tayo ng kakayanang tugunan ang mga pangangailangan ng COVID-19 patients natin in a more organized manner.
But PGH spokesman Dr. Jonas Del Rosario clarifies that the hospital can only assist the DOH to a certain extent, as resources such as medical supplies are limited. And aside from that, the PGH, which caters to a large number of poor people, may have problems transferring its patients to another facility.
Meron po kami mga ilalaan na mga beds o kwarto i-allocate po para sa mga COVID-19 patients. Hopefully po ay makapag-allocate kami conservatively ng mga 150 beds sa aming ward. Maybe kasama na po yung mga 30 beds sa ICU.
The medical city in Pasig is backing the health department's move to designate hospitals which will exclusively handle COVID-19 cases. In our newscast earlier, TMC President and CEO Eugenio Jose Ramos said that their resources and medical supplies such as personal protective equipment or PPEs and surgical masks are running short. Given the current trend, Ramos says the hospital's resources may only last for 2 weeks. Ramos also says they are now short on personnel, with almost 200 medical staff who were exposed to COVID-19 patients already under quarantine. Some doctors, he says, are even in intensive care units.
About 3 days ago, we had 191. 191 na doctors and nurses na quarantine, no? And then they have to stay for 14 days.
Opo.
Kung wala silang symptoms, okay na, there's no need for testing. But we will have to wait. We have to wait. Ang protocol ng WHO, you have to wait for 14 days. So you can imagine na dagdag ng dagdag yan, exponential yan.
Meanwhile, Asian Hospital and Medical Center says they are now handling 6 COVID-positive patients. 3 are in critical condition, while the other 3 are recovering. The hospital sources its medical supplies and PPEs from the government, private suppliers, and from Metro Pacific Corporation. AHMC assures the public that they are advised to scale down exposure to doctors and other medical staff. They remain ready to immediately respond to any urgent patient in need.
Imagine mo kung makadako ka lang isang pasyente, nurse ka, ay di ibig sabihin 14 days ka nawala.
Opo.
Hindi sustainable talaga yan kahit saan dako ng mundo.
The Health Department is ramping up efforts to make more COVID-19 testing centers available in the country as it confirms additional cases and deaths due to the virus. For the details, Greg Gregorio is joining us live. Greg, may mapapabilis na nga ba ang COVID-19 testing sa ating bansa?
Mas mapapabilis na nga ang pagsasagawa ng testing para sa makabayan nating posibleng apektado ng COVID-19. Ayon sa Department of Health, bukod sa Research Institute for Tropical Medicine o RITM sa Muntinlupa, ay natukoy na nilang iba pang subnational laboratories o subnational laboratories sa iba't iba pang ospital gaya ng San Lazaro Hospital sa Maynila, Baguio General Hospital and Medical Center sa Northern Luzon, Vicente Soto Memorial Medical Center sa Cebu at ang Southern Philippine Medical Center sa Davao City na maaaring magsagawa ng COVID testing. May kakayahan daw ang mga ito na magproseso ng 50 hanggang sa 300 COVID-19 tests kada araw. At maliban pa sa 5 testing sites na ito, isinasagawa na ang mga nauukol na pagkilos para makapagsagawa na rin ng testing sa Western Visayas Medical Center at Bicol Public Health Laboratory. Ipaniliwanag naman ni DOH OIC Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergere na hindi daw maaaring payagang magsagawa ng COVID-19 testing ang lahat ng ospital na mayroong laboratorio. Tanging sa mga molecular biology laboratories lang daw ito maaring isagawa dahil delikado raw ang handling ng specimen para matukoy kung positibo nga ito sa COVID-19. Sa ngayon, naniniwala ang DOH na malaking tulong na ang pagkakaroon ng 5 subnational laboratories para mapabilis ang testing. Dagdag pa ng ahensya, hindi pa posible sa ngayon ang mass testing dahil sa limitadong resources. Ang mass testing daw na isinasagawa na ng ilang mga bansa ay hindi pa rin napapatunayang epektibo laban sa COVID-19. Sa pinakahuli namang ulat nakapagtala ang DOH ng 13 panibagong kaso ng COVID-19. Dahil dito, 230 na ang kabuang bilang ng COVID-19 cases sa bansa. Wala pang naitatalang panibagong kaso ng recovery pero isa naman ang nasawi. Siya ay si PH124, isang 65-year-old na Pinoy mula Quezon City. Mayroon siyang history of travel sa Singapore. Nagpositibo siya sa COVID-19 noong March 15 at nasawi matapos ang 2 araw nitong Martes, March 17. Si PH124 ang ika-18 kaso ng COVID-19 mortality sa bansa sa ngayon. Ed?
Greg, meron ba tayong idea kung ilan na ngayon ang testing kits na nasa bansa? Kasi may mga nagdatingan na at may mga parating pa rin na testing kits eh. Di ba? The last we heard was we had 2,500 testing kits if I remember correctly. And that was 2 weeks ago.
Yes, Ed, ang sabi ng DOH sa ngayon meron tayong 2,500 testing kits na dumating nga mula sa China at sa South Korea. Pero kanina binanggit din ni OIC Undersecretary Vergere na inaasahan natin ang pagdating ng higit sa 100,000 testing kits sa mga susunod na araw o linggo mula pa rin yan sa South Korea at China at sa ilan pang donors. Ed?
Maraming salamat, Greg Gregorio. And now let's look at the COVID-19 situation in the country via this tracker created by the Health Department. We can see here that the cases are still concentrated in Metro Manila, yung malaki pong tuldok doon. We now have 230 COVID-19 cases in the country. There are now 30 COVID-19 patients at the Medical City in Ortigas. Yun po pinakamarami, and followed by the RITM, the Research Institute for Tropical Medicine with 29, St. Luke's Quezon City with 24, St. Luke's Global City with 19, and yung panglima po is Santa Ana Hospital with 15 and Makati Medical Center with 13, followed by Cardinal Santos Medical Center with 12. In terms of the rate of infection, if you look at this graph po, I'll just expand it a bit. There we go. Ito pong blue line paakyat pa rin, patuloy pa rin po yung pag-akyat. So we still see the infection going up, hindi pa po nagplaplato o hindi pa rin po nag-i-stabilize ng dire-diretso bago po bumaba. So tumataas po siya tuloy-tuloy. Magmula pa yan po, yung pagtaas niyan noong unang linggo ng Marso. Ayan po. Okay, let's take a look at the cases, particularly their ages. Ito po yung mga naapektuhan at mga natamaan at ito po yung pinakamalaki pa rin, yung edad na 51 hanggang 60. Yan pa rin po ang pinaka-vulnerable na age group. On what you might call the brighter side, 8 people have recovered from COVID-19 in the country. Okay, with cases of COVID-19 still concentrated in Metro Manila, how will rural communities cope with the virus? To give us the answer, hopefully the answer to this question, we have on the line Dr. Jean Nisperos, ang representative po ng Community Medicine Development Foundation. Magandang gabi po, Dr. Nisperos.
Magandang gabi, Ed.
Opo.
Magandang gabi sa ating lahat po.
Opo. I think your group had a statement released to the media just a few hours ago expressing naman concerns about the situation doon sa Kanayunan. Kasi so far po, yung focus ng bansa ay nasa Metro Manila at nasa Luzon, pero hindi pa po ganun kalaki ang focus doon sa Kanayunan. Ano po nakikita ninyo?
Kasi yun nga, isa yun sa gusto namin pag-usapan din. Tama naman nakatutok tayo sa nangyayari sa Metro Manila, but sa tingin namin, that is only half of the battle or half of the war, in fact. Because yung nakikita nating bilang ngayon na affected provinces, no, both in Visayas, in Luzon, and in Mindanao, tip of the iceberg lang yan, no? Wag nating harapin yung problema ng probinsya pag lumaki na yung bilang. Ngayon pa lang, because we believe if we do not look at the province now, we will always be 2 steps behind COVID-19.
Maghahabol tayo.
Yes, laging reactionary kasi tayo ngayon eh. Naiintindihan ko, naghahabol tayo, pero we should focus on the provinces in order to avoid the current problems we're already facing here in Metro Manila. For instance, yung shortages ng supplies, ng protective personal equipment, ng testing kits, it's only one aspect. Isa rin gusto naming baguhin sa narrative ngayon is the focus on the medical aspect. Because when it reaches the provinces, we also need to focus on the social aspect. Maraming mga LGUs hindi handa. Paano nila tutulungan yung mga lugar, yung mga komunidad na kahit tubig, wala. How are we going to promote hand washing, for instance? So yung mga yan ay hindi pinag-uusapan. Ang malaking bahagi ng probinsya, bagamat naghahanda sila, ay hindi natin nabibigyan ng kaukulang pansin, no, in both the medical and the social aspect. So gagawin ba natin yun? Marami ng numbers. Siguro, if we're going to take a system-wide look, a comprehensive look at how we will approach COVID-19, we should be doing this simultaneously. Habang nagpo-focus tayo sa pagharap ng mga hospital sa COVID case dito sa capital region, maganda talagang hinahanda na natin both the healthcare system and the LGUs in the province. Isa pa lang kinukonsider din namin nakakabahala. Alam natin na pag lumayo ka ng Metro Manila, yung healthcare system natin, particularly yung public healthcare system natin, mas mahina.
Opo.
Mas understaffed sila, mas less yung equipment. Paano natin harap niya? Dito nga tayo sa Metro Manila, ang gaganda na namang hospital dito, relatively, hirap na hirap pa rin tayo. Pag umutok yan sa probinsya, it's going to be even more difficult. And we have a public healthcare system that is already teetering on the brink of collapse even before COVID-19. Hirap na hirap yung public healthcare system natin sa usual epidemics, dengue, measles. And yet, ngayon, patamaan tayo ng COVID-19. Ano tayo kahanda dyan? Diba? Yun yung gusto namin ilagay sa lamesa. Pag-usapan natin yan, let's focus on it so that we have a more broader picture of the COVID cases in the country, in the archipelago.
Parang while we're addressing the issues of Metro Manila and Luzon on the immediate term, in the medium and long term, we should also be looking at issues in the countryside kung saan mas maliit yung resources available.
Yes, kung ganito, ngayon pa nga, naghahanda na yung mga nakikita namin, maraming doktor, maraming health centers doon, nag-create na sila ng sarili nilang self-made protective units. Kasi na-expect nila hindi aabot yung personal protective equipment sa kanila. Dito pa lang sa Metro Manila, kulang na natin. So, paano yun? Paano natin binibigyan ng isang kumpas yan? How are we looking at the poor municipalities, the poor provinces? Now, if you're looking naman at hospitals, karamihan ng government-run hospitals ay nasa major regional centers. For instance, sa Northern Mindanao, nasa Cagayan de Oro yan. Sa Davao, nasa Davao City yan. Ang lalayo niyan. Like Metro Manila, na they're more relatively closer. We're talking about fewer hospitals that can cater to COVID cases, that have the facilities and the knowledge to address COVID cases. So, ang laki ng kailangan nating tignan paglabas natin sa Metro Manila.
Tapos
So
po,
yan ang nakikita namin hindi pa masyadong pinag-usapan, hindi pinaghahandaan. At the primary level, at the community level, hindi pa tagos na tagos yung paghahanda natin sa usapin ng COVID-19.
And at the same time po, I suppose the LGUs have to be really alert kasi for all you know, baka mamaya mayroong mga clusters of COVID infections that are already growing in certain areas na hindi nila nalalaman.
Definitely. Kaya nga medyo agree din kami dun sa call ng testing. Kasi pag hindi mo talaga tinest, hindi mo alam yung clustering, hindi mo alam kung asan yung mga kaso, di ba? Mahirap talagang address ng issue nang hindi mo nakikita yung kung nasaan dapat.
Ayun, maraming salamat po. Dr. Jean Nisperos, representative ng Community Medicine Health Foundation, Community Medicine Development Foundation. Maraming salamat, Dr. Nisperos. Meralco is deferring the conduct of meter reading and delivery of bills to households amid the Luzon-wide enhanced community quarantine. The company says billing will be estimated based on the customer's average consumption for the past 3 months. Meralco notes that the difference will be reflected on the next bill and corresponding charges will be adjusted. The Energy Department is calling on the power sector or power sector corporations to defer payments of obligations and dues. In a memorandum, Energy Secretary Alfonso Cusi says the extension should last for 30 days after the conclusion of the enhanced community quarantine across Luzon. And as the Bureau of Immigration temporarily suspends several transactions in its Luzon offices, foreigners whose visas will expire during the quarantine period will be allowed to file their applications for extension with penalties as long as they apply 30 days before the lifting of the quarantine. Let's now check the latest posts on COVID-19 in the country via CrowdTangle. Sa News 5 and Partners po, nangunguna overperforming yung post ng The Philippine Star. Coming from Connie Reyes, showing her appreciation to all the people who helped her son, Pasig City Mayor Vico Soto, in the battle against COVID-19 in the city. It's a quote card from The Philippine Star. Connie Reyes saying, "Thank you so much to all the men and women who tirelessly work alongside Vico. Bilib ako sa inyo." And going down, also from The Philippine Star, a 24-year-old woman and her partner had both tested positive before the delivery on Wednesday, but the first test on the baby, delivered ng bata, came back negative for COVID-19. The first test ng bata came back negative for COVID-19. From News 5, good news, sumaludo ang mga sundalo bago na maalam sa mga health workers sa Wuhan, China na nauuwi ng Yunnan Province. Patuloy kasi ang paggaling at paglabas sa ospital ng mga kumpirmadong kaso ng COVID-19 sa bansa. Okay, and still from the Philippine Star, all SM employees will receive their regularly scheduled salaries during the ECQ period without deductions made against their vacation and sick leaves. From Philippine politicians, yung overperforming po as of 4 hours ago is a video post by Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano in front of the Taguig City Hall. Unfortunately, wala po tayong speaker dito para marinig siya. Also from VP Roberto naman, 6 hours ago, it's a photo post of mga dumating na testing kits and extraction kits for COVID-19 na ipapamahagi sa mga ospital. And moving down from Friends of Vice President Leni Robredo 6 hours ago, okay, it's a hashtag Protect Mayor Vico. Again, from Alan Peter Cayetano from 4 hours ago, another video message. From Philippine government and politicians, from DepEd Philippines, transmutation templates for schools without fourth quarter exams. In support of DepEd Memorandum 42, the DepEd is providing grading and transmutation templates for schools unable to administer the fourth quarter exams due to suspensions. And PTV4 from 3 hours ago, Centro Balita, pagganda ng family food packs ng DSWD, puspusa na. Distribution ng food packs gagawing house to house. And one more from Mayor Oscar Malapitan, at the moment, Zapote Road, North Caloocan. Yan po galing kay Caloocan Mayor Oscar Malapitan. From NGOs, medyo malayo na. Greenpeace Philippines, COVID-19 world response is showing that rapid it's putol eh. And disruption of business as usual is possible. We must respond to climate change like we are responding to COVID-19. Okay. At para po sa kabataan, huwag balewalain ang banta ng COVID-19. Lumalabas kasi sa mga pag-aaral sa Amerika at sa Europa na maging ang tinatawag na younger population ay vulnerable din po sa coronavirus. Panood natin ang quick take mula po sa Bloomberg.
I hope they just listen to what we've been saying over the last period of time. We don't want them gathering, and I see they do gather, including in beaches and including in restaurants, young people. They don't realize that they're feeling invincible.
However, what you might inadvertently do, and I know you don't want to do that, you don't want to put your loved ones at risk, particularly the ones who are elderly and the ones who have compromised conditions. We can't do this without the young people cooperating. Please cooperate with us.
We will go for a quick break, but when we come back, the Chief Executive is calling on local government units to move as one with the national government. And this city was able to set up its own molecular lab for COVID testing. Find out which LGU next. Stay tuned for that.